me guide. Oh, I forgot to run a freaking flashlight, bro. No, man. I still feel so bad, man. I feel like crap. I hate being sick, bro. I feel like death. How's that? How do I know what that feels like? I have no idea. Does death even have a feel? Like, when you die, do you know you're dead? Like, do you know what happened to you? I mean, I believe in God, I believe in heaven and everything, but like, do you know your family still? Do you, like, I always have these thoughts in my head, like I believe in God, I believe in heaven, but then I always think, like, what if heaven isn't real? Then what? Then what? Because I do believe there's a reason why we're here. I mean, we didn't just out of nowhere after dinosaur just boom, we're here. I mean, that just doesn't make sense to how we got here. There's a reason why we're here. There's a reason, and there's something. Whether you believe in God or not, there's a reason how we got here. Okay. I've had some people tell me we've came from a plant, a flower, which is crazy to think about. A flower? We came from a flower? Wow. That's sick. That's sick, bro. You don't want my freaking med kit so I can do a gen? Yeah, let me just touch your butt. Quantech. Ah! Ah! I want a large fry with that, please. Ah! I will see you there, buddy. You have a good day. Good play, Big Daddy. You got me, Big Papa. You gonna camp me, Big Daddy? My teammate's gonna leave me? What are you doing in the house, bro? What are you doing? Alex, don't sell, Daddy. What are you guys selling for, man? You guys got one job, man. He kept it, at least he wasn't salty about it. Either A, he's new to that killer, or he's new at the game, but he didn't play it bad. He just, you know, he just has to get a little bit better at pressure and gens a little bit. That's really it, but the first can be kind of tough because he's an M2 killer. You gotta be super accurate. And then when you're playing against a survivor like me, I'm not saying I'm like great or anything, but I've been playing a long time, so there's not much I haven't seen in this game as far as skill goes. And you know, to me, he's just a nurse to me. He's a nurse. Break line of sight, get where he can't see me, and I'm winning. You know, make him guess. Make him outplay me. That's what you gotta do. Like when I was at the shack, he could have been any other killer, and I probably would have went down. You know, but since it was him, like him or a nurse, you really forced him. You just gotta be unpredictable. You know, break line of sight, dodge. You know, when you go one way, don't go to the same way more than twice. I would say just kind of switch up your movement, make him guess. Now he does have an add-on that when he hits you with his vines, he can see you through the walls. But usually I can tell if they have that, and if they have that, then it's gonna be tough. But you just live with it. You just try to do your best, and you live with the outcome. That's all I try to do. He didn't play bad. I mean, he was a good player. I mean, he's good with his aim. But you know, just to get better at pressuring the gens a little more. He's right in there. Now, I've been playing the game for 9 years. It's hard to think I'm going on 10 years playing this game. Never would I thought I would be playing the game this long, but here I am. And we're about to be playing the Midnight Simulator. I don't know why he wants to farm. I guess he wants to be nice. We don't have no offerings. I mean, I don't mind. I hate Legion. I hate Legion because it's like you spend 90% of the time mending anything in the world, man. Wait, hold on. Let me put my keyboard on, man. People like when I put my keyboard on so they can learn. I teach players all the time on how to get better at Survivor. And you're gonna see me make mistakes. I mean, I'm human. I'm gonna make mistakes. But you know, it happens. Now, me personally, I use sprint as my mouse button. I don't use shift anymore. I changed that about 4 months ago. I got big hands, long fingers, so it just feels like my hand. It just doesn't feel comfortable on my pinky. It's kind of my fingers are very close together already as it is. They're pretty close. I mean, as you can see, they're pretty close together. So I have to lay them flat across like this sometimes, but when I have to use my pinky, it's just awkward for me. And I started having some pain right here, and that's why I went out and bought this. Kind of bring my wrists up a little bit. But it's because I have really long hands, or really long fingers and big hands. I think they're like 11.5 inches in diameter, like long-wise, I think, when they measured it, but they're bigger than what they look like. My fingers are huge. My pinky is bigger than average. I guess that's why I'm so good at guitar, I guess. They call this a music hand. No, but seriously though, it's just awkward. It's very cramped, very, very crampy to hold down shift. Now in games like Call of Duty or something, I'll use shift. Because most games nowadays, you can just tap shift and you're already running. You don't have to hold it. You know what I mean? So it's not bad. Wait, does that say don't dead, open inside? That don't make no sense, huh? Am I missing something? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, chill, chill. Just want a coffee, bro. Chill. I don't mind that, bro. I hate Legion. Legion's not hard. So let me give you guys a tip out there, okay? This is to all the new players that just started playing. If you're an advanced player, you probably don't need to hear this, but maybe, I mean, it's common sense. But even if you're an experienced player, you probably still do the same thing. All right, so let me tell you something. If you are playing against a Legion, I advise you and I recommend do not heal. You can mend, yes. Do not heal. It is such a waste of time. Okay? But there's a pro and a cons to it. If you are playing against a killer that frenzies a lot, don't heal. If you are playing against a killer that's a Legion that is just not using their power, then yes, I would say heal. But if you are playing against a Legion that knows what they're doing, that using their power, you're gonna waste so much time, a lot of freaking time, especially if you guys are all healing each other. You guys, no one's doing gens, and all they're gonna keep doing is re-injuring you. I see it all the time, people healing. I think people can disagree, that's fine. Do whatever you want to do. I'm just saying, you're wasting a lot of time. If you are playing against a plague, I also advise people not to freaking cleanse. I think that's a waste of time, unless it's late in the game. I think, well, I don't know. I heard she did get changed a little bit, so I heard that like she can still get her power pretty early on. But at least I haven't really read the patch notes if they changed her recently in recent times. I haven't really paid attention to the patch notes. I'm not gonna lie, but it used to be that if you don't cleanse, she'll go a long time without getting her power. And it's just yeah, it's just kind of pointless to me. If you're playing against an Oni, honestly, I would like Oni to chase me first, because he can't get his power unless he gets a hit, right? The longer you go without getting hit, the longer he don't have his power for. So I usually like to be chased by him first if I can. But that never works out. So, like I said, I'm not claiming that I know everything. I'm just saying this is things I've learned in my 9 years of playing and playing with good players and learning myself. I always try to find ways to maximize my time. And people want to be healed because they're not confident. Wow. They're not confident in their ability in chase. They're not confident in their looping ability. And when they're injured, they panic. That's why I tell people, if you are trying to get better at looping, I advise you to get more chases, injured, and get better at being uncomfortable. If you can get good at being in chase while injured, when you're healthy, Your time is gonna maximize, man. I'm telling you. It's gonna double. That's how I got better. I just ran no mitter and just ran around the map, getting in chases, running to the killer, and pushing myself to get good. I was gonna heal her. Normally I wouldn't, but they usually beg for heals, so I'm like, whatever. I got resilience, I don't mind, but we gotta be careful because he's a hillbilly. He does look like he's pretty decent. So it looks like we're playing against a decent hillbilly, which kind of makes me nervous. So. But, and here he comes. All right, we should be okay right here. We'll see how good he is. Let's give him a little fake here. Didn't respect. Lightborn, I'm dead here. I'm gonna have to get a spin here. Big swing and a miss. Where'd he go? I want like a large fry with that, please. Yeah. That 360 was pretty disgusting, not gonna lie. So he don't seem like he's bad. I mean, he's definitely not bad. He's not a bad player. He's using his power pretty well, pretty efficient. He's getting around the map, pressuring gens pretty well. So he's not a bad player. But he ran into me. And I'm not being cocky, I'm just saying, I'm not your average Joe, you know what I mean? I've been playing a long time. I better be half decent. If I wasn't good already, yeah, the game will have to be uninstalled. Can't play it no more, man. After 9 years, nah, ain't gonna happen. But he might get us here though, unless I can get to a pallet. I don't want to bring him to a gen though. That's unfortunate. My bad. How long can I run him right here for? Oh, big swing and a miss. You quitting? Don't quit, bud, please. Oh, that had to hurt, buddy. Right in your chest. Give me another swing. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, you're out. Woohoo! Boy, calm down. Calm down, buddy. It's okay, man. Look, bro, I want a sweet tea and a coffee and a small fry. And you know what? Here, come here, buddy. Come here. Hey, I'll let you down me, man. I feel absolute. Come here. Come here. Come here. I'll give you a free hug, man. I feel. This guy needs to be drug tested, bro. That guy needs a random. That guy needs a random. He's got good ping too. I don't know, it ain't the ping. I think he needs a random. Once again, guys, I can't stress this enough, dude. I am not running a flashlight to be toxic. I'm strictly running a flashlight so I can turn my character around. You can see how she turns around. That allows me to look behind me, do a, moonwalk, do a 360, spin, anything I can do to try to 360 and just stay alive. That's literally the only reason I'm running the flashlight. I'm not trying to be toxic. I'm just trying to, it allows me to do some really cool moves to try to stay alive if I have nothing else to work with. That's literally the only reason. I am not a toxic player. I don't condone toxic players. We don't do that shit around here. Now, sometimes my mouth does mess up. And my buttons, like, I don't know if it's like going out, but sometimes they'll double flashlight. I'm not trying to do that. And you can see I'm holding it down, but it still just keeps flicking over and over. I need a new mouse, bro, to be honest with you. I've had this mouse, what, 8 years now? It could be dog hair, though, to be honest. I don't know if you can clean the inside of these things, but I'm not making excuses, but sometimes, sometimes it messes up, like. Right now it's not, but sometimes it keeps clicking over and over. It must have corrected itself. Oh, I forgot he's got Lightborn. I forgot he's got Lightborn, you little weasel! Ah! DC. Just go. Just see, that shit is uncalled for. I hate when people do that. There's no need for that. Just go, man. Just enjoy the game and go. No need to be toxic, man. The only time I'll sit there and teabag if I feel like I'm being attacked. Like a killer was doing something to me and targeted me or did something toxic to me. I know 2 wrongs don't make it right, but that stuff, like. But what's funny is you see all these players, like, trying to be toxic and they're not even, like, good. Like, how are you going to be toxic to a player when you didn't even do nothing? Like, and I'm not talking about my teammates. I'm talking about in general. I'm not talking about my teammates last game. They played pretty good. They did gens and stuff. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about in general. You see, like, these survivors, flashlight killer, teabag them, and then they go down within the first 5 seconds. Like, what? I'm like, what? Wait, I have my phone connected to my computer? So GTA 6 new trailer drops August 27th. And if I had to guess, it's gonna be our first gameplay. I put money on that. I put money. I would do a giveaway to a random person of a game. You know what? I will give somebody Grand Theft Auto 6 if I am incorrect. If August 27th trailer, whoever Rockstar has up their sleeve, if it is not a gameplay trailer, Keep in mind, also, guys, Rockstar is one of the best. I mean, them guys. I'm a programmer. People know I'm a programmer, right? People know I went to school for it, right? But let me tell you right now, these guys at Rockstar are different. These guys, the code they write, they're different. Straight up. I can't touch them. And I went to school for it. These are talented dudes right here. All right, put it that way. But let me go back to what I was saying. So it's going to be on Netflix. So Rockstar, they know how to market. They know how to make their money. Congratulations. First video game trailer probably, I think, on Netflix, okay? So it's going to be 6 hours early on Netflix. If it is not a gameplay trailer, I will give somebody GTA 6. I'm confident it's going to be a gameplay trailer. Our first look at gameplay. I just have a feeling, man. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But that's my prediction. It is going to be a 20-minute gameplay trailer. I'm calling it right now. This game, GTA 6, is going to be way ahead of its time. This game is going to be the best-selling game for this decade and probably the next 2 decades. GTA 5 was way ahead of its time, graphic-wise, programming-wise. That game still has thousands and thousands and thousands of players playing to this day. And then you look at games like Black Ops 2 and 3 that came out around that time, right? Yeah, and them games just died out so quickly. Then again, Call of Duty's like what, every year, every 2 years. But still, Rockstar has developers that are just beyond this world, man. Very talented people. Big swing and a miss. He's like, nah, I'm not chasing you, bro. White chocolate mocha hot. So yeah, I've been sick, man. I'm running a fever right now a little bit. Last time I checked, it was like 100 or something. But I'm just trying to keep my mind off it. I've been throwing up. I wasn't paying attention. Gym pop kind of threw me off. Wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I've been throwing up, but I have me some nauseous medicine they gave me, so some Zofran, which is kind of helping. I ain't gonna lie. I've been throwing up all night, but the Zofran is helping. So I take that when I need it, like every 6 hours or something. So. That's why I don't feel so nauseous right now, but it lasts for a good bit. Oh my god. Angry Bird. I just played that so bad. I just wish, hear me out, guys. I just wish the MMR was better in this game. It used to be so good back in the day when they had the old ranking system, when you could pib up and depib. And now there's no penalty. There's no penalty to playing bad in the game anymore. Anybody can hit out, just totally bad performance, and there's just no accountability to bad performances. And before, as you moved up in the ranks, your lobbies got harder. That's not a thing anymore. A lot of these killers should not be in my lobby. A lot of these players shouldn't be in my lobby. I don't want to sit here and abuse new players all day long. I'm not being cocky, I'm just saying a lot of them are like very new. I'm not gonna say their bots are bad, because I don't want to discourage new players, but they're new. You can tell they're new, or they might be new to that killer. Either way, it's gonna be a rough time for them. And they're gonna get me eventually, right? That's just the name of the game, they're gonna get me. That's fine. But they're not gonna have fun a lot of the times. Because I'm just way above their skill level, which is fine. That's fine. I'm just saying the MMR should be a little bit more balanced, a little bit more better than what it is. Like me, for example, I'm not very good at killer. But when I play killer, I get the most cracked lobbies I can get. That I should not be getting. I don't have that many hours as killer. I'm a survivor main, right? I got 8,000 hours in this game, and I probably only have like 100 hours total in killer. Maybe, if I'm lucky. I got a little cocky, that's my fault. I got a little flashy, little cocky, that's a good play. By him. Who are you swinging at? Oh, my man. I got a little flashy and I went away from my loop. I got a little wide on that one. He played that well. I would love to have that. 20 ping though. Where are you at? Where are you at in the world? I want people to understand, dude. Just because you have low ping or whatever doesn't mean you have bad or good internet. That's not how that works. All it means is that he's close to wherever their dedicated servers are at. I live in Central America. They don't have, well, I live in the South, but I'm on Central Time. We don't have a dedicated server. Now Fortnite does, so when I play Fortnite, I have like a 9 ping when I play Fortnite. But I don't like Fortnite. I only played it a couple times on my nephew, but I don't, nah. Apex is hard. I'm a Battlefield guy. Oh no. I got greedy. Ah, shut up. We got a gen out of it though. We got a gen out of it. Good play. My problem is I get greedy too much, man. I'm thinking, oh, I can make that again. I would've if I didn't get stuck. I got stuck. I got freaking stuck. Looks like we're all wired up though. You see how you see the consistency in our pings? We're wired. We're not wireless. If he would have waited like a second later, he would have had me. got that? Wow. Okay, GG's. Okay. I'm so hungry, bro. Hopefully I can keep this food down without throwing up. I haven't ate in like 2 days. That's the stuff I hate, man. Look, man, there is nothing better than rice, man. Let me tell you. Maybe that's why I'm addicted to hibachi. Oh, man. I mean, that, I don't mind being the only one that died. I mean, that's fine. I did everything that I needed to do as far as in chase and stuff. But, but he didn't play well. I mean, he didn't play bad. The killer. I mean, you know, as far as me, you know, in my experience playing this game and been playing for 9 years, I can honestly say, you know, like he didn't play bad. He knew how to pressure the gens pretty well. And he put traps in good spots. The only thing I can say that he didn't do great at, he did everything pretty much. He did everything pretty good. The only thing I'll say is he is knowing when to chase somebody, knowing when to drop chase. Sometimes I think he stayed on me a little bit longer than he probably could have got a little bit more, at least one more kill maybe if he didn't overcommit to somebody. That's really the only thing I can say that he did wrong. I mean, his traps were in good spots and he pressured gens really well. And even though I feel like I was a better one in that lobby. Because usually, you have to be cocky, but usually I'm always the best survivor in the lobby. That's just a fact. I mean, my stats, my experience speaks for itself pretty much. And dying and escaping don't mean nothing. It's hard to me. It comes down to your individual performance, how you perform, your decision making, and how good of a looper you are. I may have died, but I did everything I needed to do in chase to give my team a chance, and they did everything they needed to do to get themselves out. So, and then try to save me, but I'm not putting down my teammates. I'm just saying, like, you know, you can tell somebody's good at the game, and that they have a lot of experience by their decision making and how good they can loop. If you see someone looping and you see them hugging the hell out of the loops, like their face is literally inside the wall, you might want to drop chase. Or, if you see somebody flashlighting you, trying to get your attention and trying to get you to chase them, I'm gonna give y'all a tip. It means they're pretty fucking confident in their ability in chase, and they're pretty confident in their skill. I'm sorry, but if I'm a killer and somebody is trying to get me triggered to chase them, I'm not doing it. Fuck it, I'm not doing that. Because they're pretty damn confident in their skill, and I'm not gonna fall for that bait. So, to all the killer mains out there, don't fall for that, man. Don't let someone. I mean, I'm a good looper and stuff, but I don't try to be toxic in that way. I don't try to flashlight. I just try to play the game. I just try to play. I try to have fun. And I'm not saying I'm the best player ever. I'm just saying the way the MMR works, majority of my lobbies, I am the better player. That's just, I don't know why the MMR works like that, but rarely, very rarely do I get people that's around my skill level or decent players at all. Very, very rarely. We're gonna sit here and sandbag each other. That's a horrible loop. Let me get away from that loop. Come on, come on, come on, make the win, make the win, make the win, make the win. I'm praying, I'm praying. No! I knew I should have played the pallet over there. I was gonna play that pallet over there in front at the front desk, but I'm like, I don't want to get cornered with a spirit. I was like, man, if I can make this window and play this pallet, I'm good. If I could have made that window, man, I am golden here at this pallet. I thought that door was open. Yeah, spirit's tough, man. Especially when you're injured, really tough. Why are you naked, bro? You know, it's really hard to hear her phrasing with the loud ass case music in your ear. Watch her chase me. Huh? Yeah, I like Diet Pepsi. Bro, so usually I'm a Dr. Pepper or a root beer drinker. But lately I've been loving Dr. Pepper, bro. Why are you taunting my man? Why'd you put my man back on the hook? I don't know why I get this map so much. Like, I get this map more than any map that exists in this game, ever. Oh my god, I feel like I got a belch. He straight up taunted him. What did he do? Hungry. Trying to eat. Good play. Good play. She wants me. She wants my meat. She want my meat. She want my meat. That's meat. See, I thought I said meat. I said meat. Big difference, guys. Come on out of the good. Hallelujah. don't think this is a good idea, healing right here. I'd rather heal you. Salty. Saltine. Saltine crackers. Get out of here. I got you. Go, go, go. Hopefully it's this door. Wait up, because you're going to be in the front. I want you. I want. This is fun, bro. I'm having a blast. I'm gonna eat. You know, I just now realized that was the killer talking. It must be on Epic Games. I didn't pay attention. I thought I just looked and seen that they were like on a different platform, so I assumed they were. I thought that was teammates going at it. I mean, the killer's not wrong though. I mean, he didn't have great pathing. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, he put himself in the open a lot. Like I tell people, man. I tell people this all the time. When you're on a gen, like I said, this is from my 9 years of playing this game. When you are on a gen, while you're waiting for the killer to come there, he's not the only thing you need to be worrying about. When you're on a gen, especially if you're running windows of opportunity or whatever, you need to be scanning the area. Oh, I got a pallet there. I got a window there. Oh, if the killer comes this way, I can go to this window. I got a pallet over there. But if it comes this way, oh, well, I don't have a pallet there, but I do got a window. And I got life. So I can hit that window and I can make it to that pallet. Have a game plan. I promise it's gonna work. It's gonna help you out a lot more than it won't. Promise. But I see a lot of people on a gen just looking for the killer, not really thinking about what they're gonna do. And then when the killer comes, they panic, and you see them run this way, then they run this way. They don't even know what they want to do. And then they're gonna go down. You gotta have a game plan, man. Like, if you go down trying, you go down trying. But at least your passing is gonna be a lot better if you have a game plan. A lot of people that have bad passing is not because they don't understand how to run the tile. It's because they don't have a game plan. They don't know what they want to do. They're doing everything on the fly. In which sometimes you're gonna have to do that in chase, yes. But when you're on a gen, you can at least help yourself while you're on a gen, just sitting there. You can at least come up with a game plan before, you know, like, hey, if the killer comes, where can I go? I'm telling you guys, I've been playing the game 9 years, and that has never failed me since I've been doing that. And I've learned, I was a bot too when I first started. I think we all were. But I've improved a lot in my 9 years of playing this game. So, I'm just saying, maybe that might help somebody out. But when I'm on a gen, I'm always looking around, like, where can I go? Okay, that's one tip. Second tip is prioritize windows. Prioritize windows because windows are always gonna be there. Pallets are not always gonna be there. So if you can, prioritize windows. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a couple tips here. The third tip is check spots. Check spots are very important. When you're at the shack and stuff, you know, when you're on the other side of the shack, most shack has that boarded up window. That's a great check spot. Because you can see through it, you can see if the killer's going through. Check spots, where he can't see you, but you can see him. 4, good pathing. 5, if you want to get better at chases, or at looping, get better at being chased while being injured. If you get better in chase while injured, your time's gonna go up when you're healthy. It's gonna go up dramatically. So if you want to get better in chase, be injured. I see a lot of people that they always want to be healed because they're not confident being injured. And sometimes you gotta be comfortable being uncomfortable. I hate to say that. Another thing, try not to get zoned. Try not to zone yourself or let the killer zone you. Meaning, if you're at the edge of a map, if this is the edge of the map right here, right? You have a pallet right here, right? And you're looping it. Don't let him force you on this side. Don't let him break it on this side. Try to flip him around, whatever you can do to have him break it on this side so you have this to run to. Because if you're on this side, you have nowhere to go. You're dead. Dead zone. Nowhere to go. That's zoning. Don't let him zone you. You zone him. You run the chase. Alright? And another example, if you have the windows right here and then you have the other windows right here, you want to run and you want to try to run this way to get another, this is how we want to run it, survivors. Okay? What you want to do is you want the killer to go outside. Okay? Because he's going to give you that window. But a good killer is going to come inside. And he's going to force you this way. So, but we want to go this way. So, yeah. That's a couple tips right there, but sometimes it's not always easy to have good pathing because, many things happen, right? So, but the main tip I can give people is really just don't panic. Don't panic, fall, and don't panic. And like I said, the main tip I can give people is just, if you want to get better at looping, get in more chases, run to the killer, get in more chases, and get chased being injured. Because if you can get decent, at least decent, and get your time to go up and chase while you're injured, When you're healthy, it's gonna be a no-brainer for you. It's gonna be so much easier. You're gonna be so much more comfortable. And because I see a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people beg me to heal them because they're not confident in playing. They're not confident in being injured. They're scared. They're not confident. Me, I love being injured. I don't like people to heal me most of the time. I mean, and a lot of times they'll bite me in the ass, but that's beside the point. The point is, it wasted a lot of time, and especially against a Legion. So, especially against a Legion. Especially against a Legion. Especially against the Legion. But like I said, I want to see everyone get better. And like I said, a lot of the lobbies I get into, unfortunately, just ain't. Um, it's just the MMR. I can't control the way the MMR is. And it's. I'm all for teaching newer players how to play the game, but you can't teach people that don't want to be teaching. You know, and I could probably learn something from a new player. I'm not someone that thinks I know it all. I'm just teaching people from what I've learned in my 9 years of playing the game. I mean, this game wasn't even a year old when I started playing. It's been a long time. I've seen a lot of things change. You know, when I started playing, there was no in-game collapse. There was none of that. The killers couldn't close the hatch. We didn't have a HUD showing you what your teammates are doing. I mean, the game was a lot harder back in the day, in my opinion, than it is now. I mean, you didn't know what any of your teammates were doing if you didn't have no communication. You had no idea what they were doing. You each had to guess. And I get that they want to go the direction of, newer players. I get that. That's fine. But at least have the MMR where a new player is not getting in lobbies with me. Because I get a lot of players that quit because they're not having fun. And I died to a lot of new players. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm the best player ever. I die to new players all the time. They play great. But a majority of the times, they overcommit, they don't know what they're doing, they're trying to learn the game, and they get mad, they get upset. MMR, baby. And it's the Oni. That's unfortunate. He's getting his power quick because they took a hit early. Now Oni, I do struggle against Oni. If it's a good Oni, we're in trouble. I haven't played against Oni in a long time, bro. I struggle against Onis. I'm not saying I'm just like best player ever. There's killers I struggle against. Let's see. I struggle against Oni. I struggle against Artist, the bird lady. I struggle against her because she's annoying. Sometimes the Knight because it's AI. So sometimes I struggle against the Knight because it's just very frustrating sometimes. There's killers I struggle against. I'm not, I don't play great against all the time. I got stuck on a chest. a chest right here by a loot, bro. Hey, y'all trying to mess me? Y'all trying to cancel me, man? They trying to cancel me, bro. Hey, would y'all live in this house? Hey, John, would you live in this house? No, I would not live in this house. Now, I live in Louisiana, okay? And they have this thing called Myrtle Plantations, where they used to have the slaveries and stuff. And like I said, I'm not condoning any of that. I'm just saying that's what that you could do a breakfast in bed there, and apparently it's really haunted, and you can stay the night there. Fuck no, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I know a lot of y'all motherfuckers will, cause y'all some freaks, but not me. Nope. True story. I went to a Myrtle Plantation house to get a tour, and it's a mirror, one of the most haunted mirrors they say, and it has a handprint on it, and every time they wash that handprint, it always comes back. When I went in that house, I went in a room by myself, and I swear, I'm telling you, there was somebody in that room. She greeted me and everything. I was like, she said, "Oh, how are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing great. How are you doing?" She said, "It's a beautiful day out." I thought she was a worker. I went out, and I was like, "Hey, that lady in there is nice." There ain't no lady. There shouldn't be no lady in there. Went back in there, she was gone. Swear. No, not. If that happened when I was taking a day tour, you think I'm gonna stay a night in there? Fuck no. Fuck no, bro. Not gonna happen. They said there was no lady in there. I said, dude, I just talked to somebody in there. She's in the chair. She's sitting down in her rocking chair. She said she was, and he's like, well, there shouldn't be anybody in there. So we went in there, and there was nobody in there. I was like, dude, I'm telling you, there's a old lady in that chair. She was a white lady. She had long hair. She had a dress on. Yeah. Thought teammate was gonna go for the save. That was my fault. I got to talking, man. I thought teammate was gonna go for the save. That's my fault. That's my fault, teammate. I would have came and got you, man. I thought teammate had it. I didn't realize the other one was down. It's my fault. I was talking, bro. That's my fault. Come chase me, bud. I thought Laura was gonna go for the save. Honest to God. honest to God, be. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, girl. Sorry I didn't get you off the hook, man. Thought Laura was. So some people know, some people don't know that I went to college for programming. I went for web development first, and then I went for video game development. So I had to go separate because, unfortunately, when you go for web development, that's web development, and then you have to go back for your video game development, which is like C sharp, C plus, and C. Let's see. Let me look at this one real quick. If we have spoken and witness is not spoken to yet, and player that listens to witness dot position is less than we float. Witness is true. We're gonna add a new call out real quick because I don't think I've added it to the website yet. So this is the website I've been working on for my mod. So I'm gonna add a new call out to here, and I have all this in here. Planning call outs, beta. So there's a mod that allows you in GTA 5 that allows you to be a police officer, and I make call outs for it. Your homeless harassment, hit and run, and all that stuff, right? I don't think we have hit and run, do we? I do have. I did. What call did we have? Have we not added? Kidnapping. We don't have kidnapping. Let's add that. So I added this yesterday. Doesn't work yet. I added this yesterday. This don't work yet. But I started working on this. And when I add a new call out, this gets updated accordingly depending on which one we added in. So if I ever need cause I already have all the program and JavaScript done. So if I ever need to like put a call out in beta, wait, we should have one in beta. Yeah, I can always change. All I gotta do is change the all I gotta do is change this to development or whatever, and it changes it automatically because I already have that the variables and everything set up in it. Or I can switch it to beta, whatever I want to do. If it's in beta, or if I need to disable it for whatever reason, we can put it in disabled if we need to disable it. But for now, it is released. And I want to add a couple more things though. I was thinking about adding a call out of the week maybe, but let's grab a new folder, pictures. Let's just get a picture that we can use for now. Just grab a random picture. A dummy picture that we can use of one of the mods I was redoing. Oh, and I added this. I disabled the video right now because it was being annoying, but I can go back and re-enable it. Where's it at? And this is responsive. I'm using a grid. So we have two. So if you think of a grid, this would be like row 1, row 2. And then I have it down to 1 row for mobile devices. And then ID we can say okay, what do I want to do with this? Let's see, let's name it container spotlight dash container. This is gonna be our container. This is you can think of this as like our parent of what we're gonna have in here. So this would be like our container or our parent of. So whatever we add in here is going to be our child of what we have for this container. And then maybe we can add spotlight dash content. And then we can get a paragraph. So P is gonna be paragraph. Let me change that. It's annoying sometimes. So that's gonna be added right. right here. So we'll have the featured experience right here. What else? Title dash row, I guess we can call it that. So I gotta make sure I remember these names because we're gonna be calling on this in JavaScript. So doesn't matter what we name it. So this can be. So we have H1 all the way up to H6 is what we have that we can use from, which H1 being your biggest title and or heading, H6 being your lowest, your smallest text. So let's use maybe a H2, and we'll say call out of the week. So that looks good. And then we'll say span, which could be another thing we can use for text. Spotlight. So we'll have a badge for this. We'll make a little badge. So we'll make that into like a little badge, almost like we have here. It's kind of like a badge of some sort. All right. So that's going to be for our content. This is going to be for our title row. So we're going to get out of that. We're going to come back into the Spotlight content. And you notice how I have this embedded. This is kind of like, this is more over than this. It's just, your eyes see it as in this is the parent, and then this is wrapped inside of it. So we'll do H3 solicitation, because that's my newest call out. Investigation. And then we'll get a P class, and we'll name this Spotlight description. How do you spell description? How do you spell description? Oh shit. Is that right? Shit, I don't even know. And what we'll do. Patrol known. Patrol known solicitation areas. And then patrol known solicitation areas. It's texting me. Who's texting me? What is this, bro? Shoot, I don't even know the effort description. Observe, suspicious, activity. Is that how you spell suspicious? Think. This is the hardest part, man. Trying to figure out text. Call out of the week, future experience, call out of the week, beta, solicitation, investigation, patrol, known solicitation areas, observe suspicious activity. Conduct traffic stops. Control traffic stops. Conduct traffic stops. Interview. Occupants. And decide. And decide who is telling the truth, and decide who is telling the truth. I mean, I guess this works. Patrol, no, solicitation, and to tell who is telling the truth. Okay, and then what else? I wish I would have thought about this sooner. I'm just going off my mind right now. I'm trying to figure out what to add. So I want it to be like a future, like update this every week. Like a featured experience, maybe a call out of the week or a showcase of the week or something. I don't know. I just started thinking of something like this. So we'll do another div. I'm just gonna go off the top of my head. I'm just gonna go with whatever. I'm just gonna create whatever. I don't know. I'm just gonna let my training take over and just come up with whatever I can come up with, and whatever happens, happens. But I know I want to have like maybe a video or a picture of some sort that shows whatever call out or mod that is like a future experience of the week. So we'll do spotlight futures, and here we'll add. So we have futures, and then what we'll do is we'll have a parent. Well, yeah, we'll do another div. Class spotlight future. And then we'll do a span of 0, 1. And then we'll do a P for paragraph. And then we'll say multiple random Okay, and then so that is going to be for that. And then we can add some other stuff here. And then what we'll do is we'll add a we're gonna add another class that has another future. And here 02 P, and then we'll say interactive spook 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 meter. What else do we need? Now, this looks like shit right now, but that's just HTML for you. What else? Do we have beta solicitation? Okay, so we'll do we'll do a few more of that. And then we'll say this is gonna be 03 with another paragraph. And this one will say driver and passenger question in. Okay. And then we'll add a div class, and we'll call this one spotlight buttons. Okay, so how do we want this to be? There's many ways we can make a button. Now, the simple way, we can just grab a button, and we can give it a class of button, because I already have, like if I want to use this same button that we have here, I can just use button primary, and there you go. And then, hello world. So we could use that if you want, because I already have that designed, which is probably what we're going to do anyways. I just don't know. If I want to stick to the design that I designed in Photoshop, which is this, and this button, then we can use our button primary. And the reason that, and the way this all works is, if we get a div that's a ID, IDs can't be used again. It's only unique to whatever it is. So if we have an ID called whatever, we can't call on the ID again, like for a div. But classes can be used over and over and over, as you can see here. And the reason this is working, our class button primary, is because we have variables in here in our CSS. We have variables that we created with different colors, and we have a primary, and we're calling on our button, and then our button again, primary, and we're giving it the color primary. So if I was to go in here and delete this, you can see that, yeah, our button's not so button anymore. We still have a hover effect because we still have these colors in here. But if we were to delete all of our primaries, well, it's still there, but yeah, you can see that our hover effect's still there, but it's because we're using our primary that is built into the other stuff. So we would have to go down to our button to delete the hover effect, which would be down here somewhere. Right here. That is some of our effects right there. But we're not gonna use that though. We're gonna go with spotlight buttons, and then I guess we could do a picture or a video, but we might just do a picture, which we already have over here in our pictures. So we'll say href slash not loading. Uh, oh, I'm an idiot. I see what I did wrong. I think, yeah. Okay, class. Spotlight. So we have spotlight button. So we'll say spot, no. Yeah, spot, no. Yeah, spotlight. Spotlight, primary dash button. And then what we'll do is we'll say download latest version. So that's our button. We have to design it still. All right, what's next? So it's a toss up between a picture or a video. But I don't have. I don't have any. Okay, so it's a toss up between those two. Okay, maybe we can grab another href, and then we can go to like maybe. I could just grab an image. Or the button. Why is that not working? Hello? Oh, they're close together, so. Alright. And then I don't like how it's opening in the same tab. We'll change that to target blank. Okay. What else do we want to add here? What else do we want to add? Well, we can. Okay, so I have an idea. That one goes with that. That one is for our spotlight content. So what we'll do here is we'll go in here and we'll add a div. Class. We'll say spotlight image. So this would be our image, I guess. So image overlay. We'll put the image in here. So this would be outside of our content. Okay. And then what we'll do, well, that ain't gonna work. No. No, let me think about this for a second. Man, let me think about this. Trying to think what I want to do with it. Because I can, well, I can have a picture and a video. I don't know. This would be, well, we got everything I really want to add, but I just want a video or a picture. Okay, let's just do, I got an idea. Let's add a parent class. That'll be called Spotlight. Maybe we could name it Visual. And then here we can have another one. That'll be the child of the child. If that makes sense. Probably not. Class, and then we'll call this one Spotlight. Image. And then here we can have an image. An image don't have a closing tag. So that's good to know. And then we can say, and here we can say, so we have Spotlight image. Shit. What's next? Let's add a div class. Let's call it Spotlight. We're almost done with this part. Spotlight image. Overlay. And here we can say span available now. Where does that get added at? Okay, right below it. And then we'll say, and then we'll add a bold text, which is going to be strong. And then we'll say tac sim casual callouts. Ouch. Fuck. Fuck, that hurt. Okay. One more thing that we'll add in here. Div class spotlight stat card. We'll name it. And then we'll say span class spotlight stat number. And then we'll say data target 20 data target, I think it's data target, if I'm not mistaken. Data target 0. Is that right? Data target? I think it's been a while since I used data target. I think that's correct. Not 100% sure, but I think it is. Alright, and then we'll do span class spotlight dash stat label. And then in here we can add a label, and we'll call it let's call it callouts. Available. So we'll be able to change that number later on. We have 27. We'll be able to change that soon. It's gonna be like JavaScript type stuff. And that is it, I think. Let me see. Is that all we want to add? Call out the week. And then we can just change this based on what call out it is going to be for the week. And I could probably change that to like solicitation or something. And last but not least, we can probably add it to our links here. Okay, that's getting a little overboard. All right, so maybe we will take some of that out. You can still just scroll. It's not the end of the world. So for now, let's just. blog. We're not using blog. Let's take that out as well. Instead of just taking it out, we'll just comment it out, I guess. That looks a little bit better. Now we can design that and make it look a little better. So, how do I want the design to be though? I think I have an idea. So we're gonna say, let's just say, let's make a comment for ourselves so we know. Buckle in, because this could be the fun part. See, in school, when I was in college, CSS was my favorite to learn. And I'm going to tell you why. So think of your house. When you're building a house, what are you doing? What's the first thing you're doing when you're building a house? The structure. Getting all your support, your feet support, whatever. Your blocks, right? The boring shit, the ugly shit, right? And then think of CS. So that would be HTML, Hypertext Markup Language, is what it stands for. And when you get the CSS, your cascading style sheet, in your house, that's your painting your walls red, whatever. Your furniture, that's CSS. And then in your house, you have plumbing, and you're turning on a light switch. Your lights come on, right? That would be JavaScript. That's your functionality. So meaning, if I go in here to my HTML, you see how beautiful my website looks? See this? Well, look what happens when I take away my style sheet. Look how great it looks. Really good, huh? Thank you. Appreciate that. See how ugly this looks? This is what every developer has to deal with when they're building a website before they start styling and everything with CSS, and it looks absolute horrendous. It's crazy how just boom. You know? And of course, some of this stuff is JavaScript, right? So to be able to load more, to be able to read and have this little pop-up, this is JavaScript, and it looks really clean. To be able to, have this. And of course, I had to design that. That was 6 months of designing this website and trying to figure out how, what I wanted to do with it, to be able to give people a development update of what I'm doing and working on, call out improvements, new things I'm working on, things that's in development, and I have some call outs that's in development right now, which is these that are currently in development. This one is almost done. This one's taking place in Grapeseed, because it makes sense, because that's like the countryside of everything. So when you have a stolen tractor, that makes sense, right? In the country area. So that will take place in Grapeseed. It's almost done. I got a couple bugs I gotta work out. The hardest one is gonna be. So here it is right here. I'm working on it. It's not a lot of code. Very simple. You just get a guy in a tractor and you start the pursuit process, and you have them start already in a pursuit before you get there, and that's it. It's really simple. You just, as you can see, if suspect is dead, if suspect is dead, function dies, pet arrested, suspect. Once pet is arrested, the call out to clean things up, fake false. Test and right here, see, I'm creating a pursuit. I'm adding the pet to the pursuit. I'm adding the suspect to our pursuit. And then I am setting pursuit active to true. And then he is going to be cruising with his vehicle. And he's going to be driving emergency, so he can drive erratic. So it's pretty simple, but it's almost done. The hard one is going to be, the more difficult one is going to be suspicious drone flying over the area, restricted airspace. I just started working on that one, but I got the dialogues done. I got the different outcomes done. It's gonna have 4 different outcomes. So maybe it's a gang lookout, drug smuggler, whatever. And this is my plan of how I want the call out to run. So got a bit to go. I just worked on the cases of the switch of the cases. So as you can see, I have switch, select outcome. If it doesn't pull this one, then break. and then it can pull one. It can pull these at random, and if it doesn't, if it pulls one, then break all of them. And this is basically what we're saying. If we don't break, then it's gonna try to pull all these, and then it's gonna crash. So basically, we're saying we can pull one. We can pull one at a time, basically. So and then I have the functions for the different outcomes that we're gonna have. Because you can see I have a function like under the case we have a function that we created, and this is gonna be for the different outcomes that can happen. And then right here, this is where we'll write the code for whatever function that we want. So the game lookout. It's gonna be different dialogues and different things, different code in there. Maybe he has a gun. Maybe he's got drugs on him. I don't know, right? Maybe this guy's got drugs on him. He's a smuggler, right? Maybe he's got drugs. We can program that in. Maybe he drops drugs. Maybe he's got drugs taped onto the freaking drone. You never know. So we're gonna work on that some more. But that's why I have it. That's why I have it down here. And see, once you have everything programmed in, you can go in and change everything pretty quickly. So I can just easily go to my JavaScript, and right here is my roadmap. That's what we're looking at right here. And I can easily go in and say, oh, we're at 100%. Done. So people can come back and see that. I update that frequently, depending on what I'm doing and how much I got done, and how much I think is done. Right now, we're not close. This one's gonna be ending out of. This one's almost out of beta. Not far. I got a couple more bugs. Fixed all the main crashes, the game crashes, but we're still in beta on this one. I mean, this one's still in beta 1.0. We went up 1,000 downloads since Sunday's update, which is ridiculous. So let's get to the fun part, man. Let's see what we want to do with this here. And all you gotta do is download, and you can download the latest update straight to your computer. Or if you go all the way down to the bottom, you can go visit the plugins where we have the plugin installed. So you can support both if you want. And it is scanned, no viruses. And for us to be able to update it to this website, it has to go through. They do their virus scans. It has to, and they check. They have to do their own little security. They have to look into the files. I mean, sometimes it takes about 5 or 6 hours for your update to go live, because they have to do their own little. The people of the website have to do their own little investigation and look into everything to make sure that it's no virus, to make sure that it's no AI stuff and all that. They're very picky on that shit, and that's just what they gotta do, which is fine. I'm not worried about it. All right, so we're gonna have. That's gonna be a comment. All right, so it looks like shit. I don't know what I want to do with it, so I think I want to do a grid. I think I want it to be a grid. That picture's gonna be a little bit too big. I think I want that picture to be maybe over here by itself, and then maybe we can have. I don't know, man. Fuck. This is why I go into Photoshop and design shit before I make shit, because doing this on the fly is not always the best thing to fucking do. Which is why I haven't started working on this new callout yet, because I don't know. Well, what's stopping me really is I don't know if Grand Theft Auto has a drone. I don't think they have a drone, do they? Like a regular drone? If they don't have a drone, I gotta make one, find someone that can make one, or find somebody online that will allow me to use their drone for this. I gotta get permission. So there's roadblocks that I have to go through. And I do have a license, so I gotta buy by my license as well, and buy by other people's license. If somebody does have a drone, though, I'm sure they won't have no problem. Let me use it. Just give the proper credits and whatever. That's fine. But I gotta find one first. So once I find a drone, I'll start developing more. If not, we'll have to go a different route and use something else. I'm just trying to figure out. Maybe a helicopter flying in a restricted area, and then we just wait for him to land. We follow him, wait for him to land, and then we talk to him there. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I just don't know what I want to do yet because I don't know, man. Do we have a drone? I mean, it's GTA 5, right? I don't think they have a drone because this is before drones, right? Well, I guess, sort of. GTA 6 is definitely gonna have a drone. So basically, I have to get permission from other people if Rockstar already don't have the model in the game, because I can spawn the model in if it's already in the game. I got the code for that. I got all the models in the game you could think of. It's just if it's not in the game, then you're just you're at a stuck. You're at a dead end. Circle, circle at circle at 85%. Circle at 85%. 40%. Is that working? It should. Circle at 85%, 40%. RGBA. So RGBA is red, green, blue, and then your alpha. And then in here we'll say 255 for our red. So that's gonna be straight red. 56, 56, and then so that's gonna be like a darker red. And then for our alpha, how bright do we want it to be? So our alpha is our brightness of transparent, basically. I'm thinking 0.14 maybe. No, 12, 11, 10, 8. Oh shoot, no, let's go up. I like 14, I guess. 14 looks fine. Okay. And then let's go with let's put another color in here. So do we want it to be transparent? That's nothing we want to ask ourselves. So we can make it transparent, right? Ooh. That actually fits what we have here. See, I did transparent here, but I did it darker for the alpha. See, I actually like that. That actually looks really good. All right. And then we'll put a comma, and then we'll say 0, 080. I think it's gonna be like a darker red. So 080, 080, 90C. It's gonna be black. No, I don't like. Yeah, maybe we'll do like that. Yeah, okay. Let's add the black over here. That's fine. All right, so now we need to do. trying to think, bro. I'm lost. I don't know what to do with this. Usually I go to Photoshop, and you know, cause Photoshop allows you to drag and drop shit, and I can drag and drop text and this, and I can see, you know, if I have a design. I suck at designing shit. Not gonna lie, like I suck. That's why I'm not a map designer. That's why I didn't go for map design, model design, or nothing like that. I suck. I'm not creative when it comes to that line of work. Usually I have people design shit for me or whatever, and then I go in and code it myself. But I'm happy. I'm proud of myself because I actually designed this one by myself. This website. I actually I actually went into Photoshop and put this together, and like, okay, well, you know, because as a programmer, I like to challenge myself. I like to go on the website, or I like to go on the web, find templates on these websites that make websites for you, and I like to try to copy what they have and see if I can come up and get a close result to what they have. I like to challenge myself in that kind of line of work. So let's just go to let's call out let's call out spotlight again, and then we'll call it before content. Position absolute, insert 0, pointer events is going to be none. I think do I like I don't know. Okay, let's keep going. All right, let's add a background image. And let's add this, let's make this a radiant or gradient. So let's do a liner gradient, okay? Let's take this and let's go ahead. We're going to have to do, I don't know how this is gonna look. So a liner gradient is gonna add 2 layers of color. So if we do a background image, that's basically gonna be a background of everything. So let's, how's this? I don't know how this is gonna look. 255, 255, and 255 on everything. Okay. Now normally you want to put spaces between these. It's fine. Doesn't really matter. Okay, and then we want it to be transparent. Okay. So what we'll do is 255, 255, and for the alpha, I don't want it to be super bright. Okay. I don't want it to be super bright, so we're gonna go very small, like a 0.025, and then we want it to be transparent. So okay, so we want it to be transparent. 1 pixel trans. Ain't gonna work. Fuck. Is it trans? Fuck. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Hmm. Now I'm stuck. Now I'm stuck. Give me an error right here. I don't know why. Let's just keep going. Let me see. Maybe I have to finish writing it here. And we'll do 90 degrees. We'll do 90 degrees. RGBA. 90 degrees. A. And then we'll do 255. 255. Fuck. 255. 255. 255. 0.025. Honestly, I don't know what's going on. Don't see what I'm doing. The hell's going on? Um, Honestly, I don't know. I honestly don't fucking know. I don't know what's going on right here. I'm actually lost right now. It looks like it would be right. I don't see where I'm fucking up. I know what I want to do, but doing it is two different things. Alright, let me focus on this real quick. I think I fixed it. I had that. Okay, yeah. I think we're good. Yeah, we fixed it. Okay, sweet. we need to make it a grid. I think. Yeah, let's do a grid. Let's do grid, and let's do grid column. And this is gonna be 1FR, 1FR. Like exactly what I said I wanted to do. Wanted to add the picture over here and add this over here for a grid. Alright, align items center. Alright, and then we'll do a gap of 70 to give them some space. Perfect. Alright, so I want the picture to be bigger, obviously, but let's give them some space. Alright, let's do um and let's do text. Text text upper. Is that working? That doesn't look like it's working. Should be changing these to red. Could you do? Why is? Okay, oh, it's changing this. Okay, I thought it was the paragraphs. The paragraph is spotlight description. Okay, I was confused. What's next? I think I named it title row. Yeah, spotlight. Let me just make sure I get the name right. Okay, and we're gonna say display flex, and then we're gonna say align item center, and we'll say flex wrap, and then we'll say gap. Okay, what's next? 2. Uh, 2 RAM. 5 view width. 3.6 RAM. Now, light badge. What I want to do with this. So that would be this, right? Solid RGBA. And then we'll say 255 69 69 69 alpha will be 0.55. And we'll do border radius of 999 pixels. Is that right? That'd be this, right? There we go. I knew something was wrong. Okay, I don't look bad. And then we'll say reddish, darker reddish color. And then background RGBA. And for the background, we'll say 255 6969, and then the alpha is gonna be a little bit more lighter for our badge. Font size. We could do. Let's try 0.72 RAM. Okay. Font weight to make it bold. And letter spacing 0.1 em. gotta take a break. I'm getting a headache. Looking good though.